Today we're going to be doing a carb synchronization on the Honda GL1200 Goldwing. It's a 1987 variety. And I'm going to be using the Carb tune tool. And I'm going to show you some things about that. I want to get straight into this, but I want to show you a couple of things before we get started. And then I'm going to show you the tool, and then we're going to hook everything up and get ready to do it. Okay, on the left side of the bike here, this is cylinder 2, this is cylinder 4. What you need to know is number 4 is a fixed carburetor. This is your master carburetor that the other 3 carburetors are adjusted to. So there's no adjustment on this one. There's a screw through this little hole right here. You just stick a screwdriver through there, and the screw is back here where my tip of my finger's at. And that adjustment adjusts this number 2 carb to number 4 carb. And then if you come on the right side of the bike, same thing. There's a hole right here, and then there's a screw back there through that hole. So you stick a screwdriver through there to adjust this one, and this adjusts the carburetor on this side, which is number 1. And then here's the adjustment for number 3 carb. And if you need to adjust the idle, which you probably will, there's a flat blade screw right here. Get my finger out of the way so you can see that the flat blade screw back there is the idle adjustment. Okay, here's the tool. I'll open it up. And I'll leave a link in the description for this if you're interested in it. I think you can get them on Amazon. I didn't get mine on Amazon. I don't think. I bought it straight from the company. But this is a very good synchronization tool. As you can see, it has 4 columns for a 4-cylinder. I have used this same tool on many different motorcycles, and I have some fittings that work that I used on my GL1200, a Honda Magna 750, and multiple other bikes. And here's the hoses. I'll show you them in just a second. But this kit does not come with these metal fittings. I like these better. It comes with a plastic fittings, and like for the 6-cylinder, for the GL1500, you might have to use these, but these here work on 4 cylinders, or you can use it on 4 of the cylinders and use these for the other 2. But for mine, it's only a 4-cylinder, so it'll work well. And this is the kit for these 4 tubes. I'll leave a link in the description for them. And I wanted to show you on these hoses, each hose has a little section. I don't know if you can see that break right there. I think you can. There's a restrictor in there. And this end you put on the carburetor intake manifold. The other end you put up on your tool, on your carb synchronization tool. You do that on every cylinder. You got to make sure that this restrictor is close down to the cylinder head. Okay, now on the side of these intakes are Phillips head screws, and they have a little washer. Don't lose those washers because they're a sealing washer, and you'll have a vacuum leak if you don't get that washer back on there. Put them right where you can see them. Now, since this has 2 different length tubes, this one out here has got all kinds of room, so I'll put the long one out there and the short one to the inside. It's got an O-ring on it to seal it, so just screw it in by hand. You don't really need a wrench. Okay, those 2 are ready. So I'll take 2 hoses with the restrictors down here at the bottom. I'll attach one to this side. That'd be number 4. And one to this side. That'd be number 2. Alright, so now let's go to the other side. Same thing on this side. In case you're wondering how come they're so easy to loosen, I pre-loosened them before I started the video because I didn't want to fight them. Sometimes these things could be a booger. And I'll put the long one out here that's got a lot of room. Same as the other side. Sorry, it's hard for you to see. I can't do this and let you see at the same time, but screw that in by hand until it's snug. And then make sure that the restrictors are down here at the bottom. Attach it to this one. That's number 3. And this front one's number 1. Okay, now we're ready to put them onto the machine, up onto the carb synchronization tool. Okay, so now I'm going to find cylinder 1, that's this one. I'm going to put it to number 1 column. And then number 2. And then 3. Try to keep these in order because you want to know which cylinder you're adjusting. Okay, if I can hang that up where we can see it a little bit. Okay, now we've got everything set up and we're ready to go. So what we need to do is we're going to start it up and let the engine idle and warm up. I'm going to have to open the door, let the exhaust fumes out. Wow. Look how far off that cylinder 2 is. That's probably why it was popping. They're all off. 2 is on number 4, so when I adjust 2, 4 will probably come up. But first thing you have to do is get 2 and 4 evened up. So I'm going to let it idle and I'm going to let it warm up. While the engine's warming up, I'm going to adjust this number 2 a little bit. You can hear it popping as it's idling. Let's see if it makes a difference if I adjust this with the idle. Yeah, see number 4 coming up? See, sometimes you got to tap on this because it'll stick if it's not straight up and down. This is supposed to be straight up and down. Okay, I'm going to adjust number 2 again. Yeah, we're getting close. Went a little bit too far. Alright, let me flip the throttle. You gotta flip the throttle every time you make an adjustment. I gotta come back up just a little. That's looking pretty close. Maybe up just a little more. Alright, I'm going to hold it right there for now. Okay, now I'm going to adjust the number 1. Getting pretty close. Now my RPM is up too high, so I'm going to lower my RPM. want my RPM around 1,000 or 1,100. It was getting too high. Okay, so now I'm going to adjust the number 3 or number 1 to number 4 again. That's pretty close. Now I'm going to work on number 3. Alright, number 1, number 3, and number 4 are pretty even. Let's go back to number 2. Okay, now I'm going to work on number 2 a little bit again. Let me flip the throttle. That looks really good. As you can hear, it sounds like the popping is gone. That is really close, really close. I'm going to leave that there. I'm really pleased with that. We'll go ahead and take these off. Now the cylinder head's a little hot. And whenever you go to put these screws with the washers back in, and when you get ready to put these screws and washers back in place, make sure that they're straight. Do not cross thread these. If you can start them by hand, do that. That's probably the best. Sometimes it's hard to do, especially if your engine's warm. There we go. These tubes are really nice. They seal well, and they work really good. I'm going to get in front so I can try to screw this in straight. Okay, I'm going to cut this zip tie off of here so I can take this synchronizing tool off of it. I'll put that away later. Alright, that's all done. Let's go ahead and start it up. We'll see how it idles. I won't give it any throttle. Looks like it's idling right about 900 to 1,000. Probably about 1,000. Engine sounds really good. There's no popping, no problems. It returns back to idle the way it's supposed to. Yeah, that sounds really good. This is a pretty cool little tool. You know, it's more compact than those 4 gauges that are spread out, and it's got the screw that you adjust for the restrictor and all that kind of stuff. This just performs perfectly. I really, really like this synchronization tool. I've used it on many different bikes, and it's worked well. Seems like that's what the problem was with this bike. I kind of suspected that right after I started it, because I didn't bench sync it whenever I did the carburetors. I just kind of eyeballed it, and I could tell it was off a little, but it didn't look like it was that much. But anyway, I think the coil was part of the issue. If you watch that video, there was a little bit of an issue with that. But now I've got it all worked out. Everything's working well. So if you have to do synchronization, this just go along with the way I did it in this video. It's a very, very easy thing to do, and believe it or not, it's very, very rewarding. It does make a huge difference in the way your bike runs, the way your bike idles, the way your fuel economy is, and all that kind of stuff. So I'll leave a link in the description, like I said, for the tool and for the fittings if you want to get those. Anyway, I appreciate you coming along and watching, and I'll see you on the next one.